Alright, we have returned. For the first time in a while, I'm recording more than one episode in one day. Here to finish off E tier for the challenge series. And, very brief look at the points, because honestly, it's, well, it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion, but it's not really contested either. I mean, there's a chance that Cam or myself can maybe make a comeback, but it's really not. I don't know, it just doesn't seem likely because Linnae would have to score literally nothing for that to be even possible. If it happens, then we have a fight on our hands. If it doesn't, and like Linnae wins any of these next 3 or 4 races, then it's just gonna be, meh. Anyway, let's get started with Silverstone without wasting any further time. On the starting grid now for the Silverstone race. And, well, it seems like kind of neutral territory. Cam is just ahead of Linnae. I'm just ahead of him, and Eric, who I do believe is still 4th in points, is starting 3rd. So this kind of seems like it'll be a neutral ground type of race. I don't really know if there's going to be any major gains made from anyone here. Linnae would have to pass me and Cam to gain many points. And, well, we would have to obviously pass other people. Eric can make up some ground, but only if he really maximizes his potential here, starting from 3rd. Well, he's maximized his getaway there. There are no sudden errors through the first 2 turns, it looks like. Yoshiro's gonna send it in on Linnae, and also Cam not having his best start ever. He's fighting to... Actually, never mind, he just passed me. He's 8th. I'm okay. Never mind, I guess. Haha, horsepower. Hopefully in this episode we at least won't have to do any kind of fast forwarding because the race gets so boring that there's literally nothing to look at. So this looks interesting here. Tori trying to work her way into the top 10 on Yoshiro. Also trying to have to work around Cam and myself up ahead. And Yoshiro will just go around the outside of that corner and take her spot back. And I have the distinct feeling that Cam will be next. Somebody has crashed. I don't know who on earth that is. Oh! My god! So Linnae already kinda on the back foot at this point. She's like 13th here. She's got a huge run on Hikari and she goes for it. And, yeah? I mean... She had every right to try and make that pass. Just Nissan GTR drivers being Nissan drivers once again, not knowing what they're doing. And that has some huge championship implications because that opens the door for everybody to gain at least a little bit of ground on her. Hikari is throwing for content, apparently. That's my explanation for that. Meanwhile, behind there, Hyde moves himself into 11th place. He's had a pretty good start up to from 14th now. Kinda helped by Linnae being sent to the Shadow Realm by Hikari, who at the second time he's totaled somebody in this tier alone. May need to look into some sort of repercussions for that, because he's been driving like a little bit of a yahoo so far, I will not lie. It's pretty much a stalemate for the top half. The only real deliberation is back here. With like Cam and me and Yoshiro and so on, as Cam just gets around me again. But I mean, we've seen this already. As here I come, I am cinnamon. It's funny because Cam has an actual cat named Cinnamon. But this time I didn't really get far enough ahead, and so therefore I think I'm finally overtaken for real. Also, blessing from the Lord, Travis had to start last in this race, so he can't really interfere. That said, he's not that far away from the pack. Nitori once again trying to get around Yoshiro for good this time. And this time she'll actually get it done. And Hyde's gonna try and follow her through, but I do not think that will succeed. No. Nitori might have made that pass. She didn't really lose Yoshiro by much, which means here we go again. Down the back straightaway, and top speed achieved. Nitori is gonna brake as late as possible and defend for her life, pretty much. So she'll stay alive for the moment in the points. She needs to try and put me in between herself and the MC-12 if she is to succeed. Huh. Wonder when that happened. Alright, so this is how the pass for the lead happened. It's, well, pretty straightforward. It actually wasn't a huge run for the Corvette driver, but she just sent it in. And, Thrasher, none the wiser, was powerless to stop that one. So, we just missed that. Because I honestly just sort of reserved the idea that there just wasn't going to be anything happening up front. Yoshiro's going to try again on Nitori. Ooh, very close to making big contact, but Nitori probably saw that coming. Wouldn't be the first time somebody does something like that. Alright, Hyde will now advance his position following opportunistic moment. And Nitori is going to get around me. Can she stay there? Probably, because Yoshiro's on my inside and almost running me off the track. Parry this, you casuals. Never mind, Nitori's in my way. I'll not get that pass done at all. Just a battle of blue here. Mine's a very dark blue, and then their cars are also blue in front of me. Then there's a blue car in the lead, and oh my god, she has absolutely run away with it. Then there's a lot of blue cars in this tier, I did not realize. There's even a little bit of blue on Miyako's Z4 too, for goodness. Eric looking set to copy what Riley did on the previous lap, maybe. I mean, I'm sure that's what he would like to do. Signs pointing to yes. Yeah, just about identical overtakes, so... I have been mugged. I already knew that. And Nitori got overtaken by Yoshiro again. Riley gained 3.5 seconds in the one lap that she's been leading. Hyde's gonna try and get around me. And, well, he's not gonna have much difficulty doing so. Can I return the favor? No, because I'm on the brakes for whatever ungodly reason. No points for me. I think we've pretty much exhausted all of the possible overtakes we're going to see in this race. Yoshiro's getting away from Heitori. She's not really catching Cam very quickly. These three are kind of maintaining his holding station where they're at, and we're on the final lap anyway, so... We've only got about 2 minutes worth of waiting for the race to be over, so I guess I won't have to fast forward this one. Where you go? Oh, sweet Jesus. He managed to turn, almost wrecking the car into almost trying to pass Gino. How did you manage that almost? God, they take that corner so wrong. It is incredible. Been overtaken by Hikari now. Clearly this track is just not built for my car whatsoever. Yako has arrived at Tyler's back bumper. There's just not really any time to do anything with that, though. I don't think Yoshiro's gonna get there either. And as Riley heads through the last set of corners here at Silverstone, she's finally taken a win. It's taken a lot longer than I figured it would take for her to win a race. But better late than never. Eric with a crucial second place. Thrasher makes podium. And Cam will close in by a couple of points, but not by much. Following Linnea's, well, death at the hands of one of the very questionable Nissan drivers, as they've been for pretty much this entire tier. Questionable. Now it's an 11-point gap. Eric also sneaking into the picture, only 13 off of the points lead. And then there's a line between, or from me to Riley back, that are still technically mathematically in, but they'd have to pretty much win the next 3 races in a row. And Linnea would have to not score very much. If you have less than 46 points, you are mathematically out, so... Nitori, Hyde, Hikari, and Thrasher cannot win the championship. Plain simple. And Miyako only could tie it, and that's assuming that Lene literally didn't score anything. So in other words, it's not very likely. So in other words, it's more so like top 10 have any chance, and even so, if you're outside of like 5th or lower, it's a slim chance. And this will be an interesting track. The Highland Circuit is a track where the Lamborghini historically does pretty well. Oh, great. It is also, however, a track. However, it is also a track that me and Travis should be able to do something at. Maybe probably not win, but you know, maybe at least make a couple of overtakes on the straightaways. Well, just when we thought we'd have a battle, starting grid gods have said no. Literally no one at the front, or literally no one that can challenge Lene for the championship is anywhere near where she's starting. Other than me, and that's kind of putting it loosely to say we're near her. Cam and Eric are not even starting in points positions. Yeah, this is gonna be ugly. Perfect time, wow. Did Hyde even try there? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't try there. It's always foggy here, I swear. Literally always foggy at the Highland Circuit. Never mind, the straightaways on this version of the track are not as long as they are on the long circuit. So the Lamborghini won't be as dominant, and unfortunately that also means that cars like my own won't be as dominant either. Eric is now in last. I think he's pretty much reserved the fact that he may not have a chance at this race. He's just not even going to risk anything. Suspension, not really his biggest fan right now, that's for sure. Well, Riley has seized the lead from Lene. Hyde, in trying to follow suit, just instead hit the wall. The 458 does not have the greatest in terms of speed either, as far as top speed. It corners fine, but it just is very weak in a straight line after it gets into like 5th gear. This will be, well, it actually won't be as long because it is a 4-lap race. It'll be like the length of a race around Spa, really. And you better do something now if you're going to pass her, because you're not going to get a chance after we get onto the little back straightaway. Actually, I'm apparently wrong. This thing is more than capable in a straight line. It just seemed like it was taking a while to get to that point where it could do that. But no, it can, and I'm just dumb. our two other championship contenders really not doing themselves many favors by doing terribly. So Travis is going for a ride here. Hyde's like right in her wheelhouse, just can't seem to like manufacture anything. But manufactured a guardrail there, went any wider. I of course seem to lack the necessary cornering to catch up to Hikari, and now I just have to try and keep these cars behind me. Riley is getting away with this one once again. She's sort of found her second wind, the literal last possible minute. And it's going to take a heck of a lot more than just that to win the championship. It's going to take Lene not finishing here, which fortunately nobody seems to be very apt to, or no one seems to really intend on doing anything about it. I can't try to make it fast at this point. It's all formality. It's not like you're going to get into the points from here. That's right, I forgot. The MC-12 doesn't really have that great of a straight line speed. It has better acceleration than the other GT cars here, but it doesn't have the same kind of top speed that Travis might have. Of course, you know, balance of that is Travis' cornering is god-awful, so... I'm getting up to Hikari, kind of, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I'm out of straightaways. The 650S is a very neutral car. It doesn't have any weaknesses, but it doesn't really have any glaring strengths either. It is okay off the line. It is okay in low-speed corners. It is decent in high-speed corners. It has okay top speed, but like it doesn't have any true thing where it shines, and that's what you need to make up places. You need to specialize in something at least a little bit. And that's why Tyler can usually maintain good positions on the track, but he can't ever seem to improve it. He's finished in like the middle area of the field, usually like somewhere between 5th to 10th in most of the races, but he's never managed to have many outstanding performances outside of his singular win that he took last episode. And as expected, Travis is making a giant train with his vehicle that's pretty much a dragster with the rear wing. So this is the dragsters don't normally have rear wings. They 100% do normally have rear wings. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, but here we are. Now Shiro has hit a wall somewhere along the way, or she may have also rear-ended an opponent along the way. It's hard to be sure which. What are you laying off for, Dum-Dum? That's the grass. The MC-12 specializes in acceleration out of slow corners especially. It has decent handling, but not quite on the same level as a GT car, but the problem is it hits 6th gear and it hits potential, basically. It doesn't really have top speed. It hits 6th gear and just runs out of steam. Once again, I've gotten vaguely to the GTR, but I can't do anything with that because I don't have enough handling to try and make it fast at any time. And as she enters the little town, once again, for the 2nd race in a row, Riley Blanchard is the winner. But the main focus should probably be put on Lene, who is going to greatly extend her championship, possibly out of reach, following that 2nd place result. My 6th place is not really going to do much, and certainly the same would have to be said for Cam and Eric, who are supposed to be the ones trying to chase Lene down, who instead finished last and 2nd from last. Opposite of great, guys. It is now a 23-point lead. All Lene needs to do is score 7 points, and she has the championship no matter what. If somehow she didn't manage to score in either of the next 2 races, though, me, Riley, Eric, and Cam can all, in theory, steal the championship from her, but all she needs to do is finish 8th place twice. Alternatively, I think if she just finishes, like, 4th place, she's done it. Literally doesn't matter. If she finishes 4th, doesn't matter what Cam or Eric or Riley or myself do. Well, will she be able to pull off a simple 4th place finish? We'll have to find out at the Nurburgring. And alright, after a 10-minute session of trying to fix the unfixable mic static, we're on the starting grid for the Nurburgring. Lene may not get her 4th place here, that's for sure. And Cam's in a decent position, so too is Eric, to close in at least a little bit. And I'm just kind of paranoid because I'm sure it's staticking again. I mean, this doesn't seem like there's anything I can do to fix it. There's no definable cause that I can identify as like, this is why it's staticking. No, there's no rhyme or reason. It just is staticking, and it's just like a permanent state of being for this stupid thing. Very chaotic start. Everyone's kind of like, it's like a constant like ebb and flow of positions. Riley may overtake me here. And crucially for her also gets around Travis. That's like the most important overtake for her to make, right there. Eric is off the spot. Cam trying to remain where he started. Thrasher's the leader. Tyler trying to do anything he can to finish not last, but he's got to get around both Nissans, and that can be a scary prospect, as we've seen in previous races, as they almost run each other off the track. Kari almost wrecked Gina completely there. That would have been a sight to behold, because I would not have been at all surprised if it happened. I'm just gonna hope it's the low static and not the super crackly static that literally is louder than me talking. Because if it's little tiny crackles, tiny crinkling noises from the mic, I can at least talk over that. And I can always put music slightly louder than average so that I can, you know, drown out a little bit. But if it's full-on crackling, which I can technically check when the race calms down, it was full-on. And meanwhile, Cam, once again, defending from Yoshiro. That seems to be a running thing in this particular episode. Cam defending from Yoshiro and succeeding more often than not. Not been the most exciting race so far. We had the first lap melee, and then we've had not much else. There was apparently me getting around Travis not too long ago, and he will continue to make that impassable terrain for Lene and the other cars behind him. Bowers had pretty consistent drives up until this point, but unfortunately it appears this race will certainly be the end of that. The end of his streak of like consistently consistently average point scoring finishes. Cam with the fastest lap. Despite being the car in 6th. And not really making much inroad on Taylor. That's certainly not how you're gonna do it either, doing that. Oh, I'm in no man's land, alright. Tyler's going for a pass. He's gonna get around Gina. And does he follow up with passing Lene? Looking good. This is for pride, I think, at this point, not for points. But, the outside becomes the inside. Lene... Tyler hits a bit of a curb, so I believe that Lene will have defended that spot, just about. Again, it's pride at this point, pretty much. Another one really able to score points from back there, not with the world's fastest roadblock in the form of Travis. For anything, I'm trying to get this tier done with now. A, because of this fucking mic. And... edit that out. A, because of this mic. And B, because of... well, honestly, this tier hasn't been the closest. I had kind of assumed that Linnea was going to walk away with it at the end of the last episode. She's finally hitting some roadblocks. But... fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on whose perspective you're looking at, her rivals in the championship haven't really been able to put big points up on the board when, you know, she is able to be, when they can capitalize on her having poor results, they've done no such thing, period. Wow, look at all those minute 59s. It's almost like we're in a 9-car train that nobody can do anything with. As I say that, I just noticed that Eric got around Victoria not too long ago. Apparently, I don't know how. Cam having to defend once more from the Maserati driver, but I think this time to stay the seat. There's literally no rhyme or reason for this bullshit. It just does it. Whenever it feels like it. So annoying. Eric may have a bit of a run on Yanko's BMW here. I'll wait and choose. Maybe late enough. RG. I think you guys can actually survive that one. Today is going well, but it's hard. Like we're just gonna repeat what happened between Aaron and maybe? No, yeah, that's true. One more opportunity left for any positions to change. I don't think it will, however. Separation from Miyako means that Dr. Thrasher is going to come out of the last corner, and he's going to pull off a bit of a surprise victory in the SLS, which is not a very good car. But he's going to pull off a win anyway. Some good, crucial points for Eric, and a couple of points for Cam, and no points for Lene, who's only going to come in with a measly 30. Courtesy of Travis being the world's biggest roadblock. Alright, we've arrived at the final race. Eric has done just enough to be the only other person with any chance of winning this championship. If Eric wins, and Lene literally scores nothing again, like she's done the last 2 races, then Eric will actually be the champion. If Lene scores even 1 point, championship is hers. Odds are not high, but also not 0, as we head into the final race. Spa. Well, we're here on the starting grid for Spa, and oh boy, we got something special in store here. Eric needs only to pass Tyler, and he will win the race. And Lene would have to pass me, Taylor, and Thrasher to win the championship. Or no, just be me and Thrasher, not Taylor. Taylor is optional. Taylor is if she wants to really win the championship. But that wouldn't even be necessary, assuming Eric doesn't pass Tyler, so... switch camera to the race part. And Nitori and Lene gonna be dead even as they head towards the Rouge. This will be interesting to watch. Oh boy. Lene's managed to just barely keep ahead. Maybe not. Nitori's got another lead or another run on her. What am I looking at up there? Yeah, they're three. Ah! Pandemonium has taken place. You know what that's done is that's totally denied Lene any chance of scoring too. So my infinite genius, I decided to basically make it 3 wide with Miyako and Taylor. And Miyako just turns right in on me, and I don't have a choice but to pit maneuver here. I don't really have anywhere else to go. She just sends it on Taylor and forgets that or is not aware that I'm there, so she just slams right into me. So, there's now only one facet remaining. Can Eric pass Tyler and win himself the championship at the last possible minute? Not looking great so far because Tyler's getting off to a pretty big lead. Not much else really matters at this point because of that start being so chaotic, for lack of better terms. Yeah, as you could have probably figured out by now, I had to switch to a backup mic because the original one, literally, like, unstoppable static. I literally could not get it to stop. I unplugged the mic and plugged it back in like 27 times. Each time more staticky than the last. And Riley just went around the outside of Hikari into the bus stop chicane. That was something. Yeah, considering there isn't a huge difference in performance between these two cars, it's looking kind of possible that Eric may not be able to make any passes happen on Tyler. Okay, we're just gonna chuck it in there on on Gina. Nitter is the one we're on board with, Riker. Duh. Taylor with some weird exits out of these turns, but I think she'll have the move finished. Nitori now is going to try and follow her through, and she will, I think, because Gina got on the curb. Ferrari versus VW group, basically. Hyde chasing Cam and Eric. Why did I think Tyler was driving a Huracan? I don't know. I don't know, he's been in that McLaren this entire time, Rector. It'd been really interesting if he just suddenly changed to become a Lamborghini in the blink of an eye. You know, it's kind of physically impossible to do that, but here we are. Riley is in no man's land, to say the least. Gee whiz, Taylor. Eric is getting slightly closer by the minute here. Of course, catching him is one thing. Eric has to actually pass him if he wants to win the title. Riley with the fastest lap, but she's so far away from... Never mind. She's so far away from... is literally right behind Hyde. Not right behind, but... pretty close. And getting closer still. That is the longest fifth gear I've ever seen. It's taken to the very last minute, but this tier is finally getting exciting. And I know Tyler's not going to let Eric just walk away with the title. Even if it's not his, even if it's his not fight for. He's going to want to win that race. I know him better than anybody. Rather looking to try and maybe sneak onto the podium and cap off quite the resurgence here in this final episode, considering the fact that she won the first race of this episode, but then kind of suffered in the third race thanks to Travis being in the way. Yeah, rest assured, the 935 will not be coming back next year. I'll just put in another Porsche, because there's like 6 options in this tier for that Porsche. There's a 2017 GTE, there's a 2016 GT3, there's the 918 Spider, which would basically be like another version of my car, but like slightly different. How it's different, I couldn't tell you, but it's different. Just trust me on that. Eric has not made any more progress, that's just because he's kind of hit the threshold for being not closer. And they're exchanging fastest laps. But Riley ran a 2-minute 22. She displaying masterful pace here at Spa. Riley has a run on Hyde as we head towards this little chicane here. No, Hyde has my number. Just noticed that. Riley has the advantage going into the downhill right. I think it's called Rivage. And Riley's made her way into 4th place with that. Can she tack on a podium? Tyler started to find more pace in that car. He started to pull away from Eric once again. And Eric is, to say the least, Eric is running out of time in this one. I think this one might just slip through his hands. And Renee wins by doing absolutely nothing in the last 3 races. Tyler is going to win, take his second race win in Tier E. Cam will not be denied his podium. Riley with a decent to move through the field to reach 4th off of 7th. I'm going to score 1 minuscule point in the final race. And despite scoring literally no points, Lene is going to be the champion of Tier E. By like 2, I think. And Travis was terrible. There's another lap. I'm like, why isn't the race over? Travis has crossed the line. Then I realize it still says lap 5. Oh boy. But we're not done yet, apparently. Riley still has one opportunity to take that podium away from Cam, I guess. I don't think this is the one. But I think you're waiting for the bus stop. You absolute maniac. Somehow just managed to even make the corner at all. I don't really know how. Oh, this car's got a base when it's in low revs. Actually, no, Riley can't make it past the bus stop anyway, because Tyler will have finished the race by then. And as I've learned in the past, apparently, the race is technically over as soon as the leader crosses the start-finish. Doesn't matter if any passes are made afterwards. You don't score any additional points for that. So, as Tyler exits the bus stop chicane, this time, Tyler is going to take his second win. But Eric only manages 2nd place. Riley did not sneak the position away, so it doesn't matter. Cam will have his podium. And now score 1 measly point. But Lene, despite running 13th in the final race, and also not scoring in the one before this one either, still going to be your champion. So yeah, that will settle things here, I do believe, as we head to, yep, by just 2 points. Lene is the champion. Eric could not pass Tyler. Interesting that Riley made it to 4th in points, considering there was some point in time where she was below 10th. And Tyler had a very quiet tier, although, I mean, I don't really know if that's valid, considering the fact that, he won 2 races. But when he wasn't winning, he wasn't really losing either. He was still scoring points in most of the races, so. He was consistent, but never set the world on fire. So that'll be it for Tier E. And then after this, we head to Tier S, and finish off the 2nd calendar year of the Challenge Series. And there's a lot of stuff coming in the off-season, believe me. There's a one-make championship, there's the Twisted Invitationals will begin, and there's even more than that.